Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran, and today we are going to be taking a look at some more bananas combat footage coming out of Ukraine. This is from the 58th Motorized Rifle Brigade, and these guys are conducting some anti-aircraft operations with what look like probably some Stinger missiles. Let's see some aircraft get hit. Let's do it. And by the way, to you friendly YouTube censors that always love to demonetize my videos, guys, I've looked this over already. Nobody's getting hurt. You don't even really see the moment that the aircraft get hit. It shows the missile launch and then it shows it being destroyed. So anyway, also, if you're tired of the YouTube censoring my content and you want to see my uncensored combat videos, some of the spiciest, edgiest stuff that's come out of this conflict and my breakdown of it, you want to become a member of the Patreon, check out the Patreon link in the description. It's like $5 and it really helps me support and do what I do since, as you've seen, I sort of work at the mercy of YouTube. Okay, let's check it out. So here are these guys, right? It's got some helmet cam footage and you can see sort of the setup. Let's just back this up just a little bit because I think it's a pretty interesting look at their setup. It looks like they almost have a sort of bivouac site. This is a RPK right here. They almost have a sort of bivouac site in the concealment of this little patch of woods, right? This is going to, since they're working against aircraft, I think their number one fear, of course, is going to be that, well, aircraft spot them before they can spot the aircraft. So they stay where there's some cover, right? They probably are observing enemy air operations. And then when they see a target, only then do they expose themselves to line up their target. So you can see here is one of the soldiers, right, lining up. It's an air defense system, similar to a Stinger missile, but just a bit different, right? So what's interesting is, okay, he points out there's the Russian aircraft, right? He's flying low, and let's see if we can just get this. There's copyrighted music they're using, but I want you guys to hear, see if you can hear, and I'll try to do it along with you, hear the lock tone from this weapon system. You're going to hear it like make sort of a clicking noise, like a t-t-t, and then the tone will indicate when it's a lock and they can fire. Okay, there it is. You could actually hear it there for a second. Listen again. There's the buzz. There's the tone. And when there's a tone, it means that the weapon system has developed the lock basically on the enemy. I believe they're heat seek. I believe it's a lock on the enemy aircraft's engine signature. Right. So they put that out. That's the sound of course, that you've got the lock. You may remember that one of the early generation of these man-portable anti-aircraft weapons, MANPADs, I think is the acronym. One of the earliest generations of those was actually given to the Mujahideen fighting against the Soviets in the Soviet-Afghan War. So as you can imagine, right, this is not just designed to be an effective anti-air weapon system, but it's meant to be very, very usable, even by non-professional soldiers, right? Even by people who aren't really literate. That's why they rely on those simple tones to tell you if it's locking or has found a lock. Okay, so you can see, as we've seen with other Russian aircraft videos, Russian aircraft seem to generally fly as flights of two, right? They operate in pairs. These look like probably, my guess would be Sukhois, like the close air support aircraft, right? And it looks like the ground troops here are firing a large number of missiles, right? A large number of these MANPADs at these Russian aircraft. And why do that? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First off, think about the mathematics for a second. An aircraft is a $10 million plus investment by in this case, the Russians, right? But you have to think about the cost of a Stinger missile system, right? Or a MANPAD system. It's maybe tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So it would literally be worth it to fire probably hundreds of MANPADs at a combat aircraft to destroy it, right? You end up expending far fewer resources, right? cost per unit. All right, we're gonna look this up because this is what you guys got. Oh yeah, here we go. Boom, perfect. All right, so FIM 92 Stinger is a man pads. That's probably about right. So the missile only, interesting, in $1980. Weird. Okay, so the unit basically is $120,000. Right now, let's look up the cost per unit of Sukhoi. What is it, like a something frog? So we'll just say a fighter cost per unit. Yeah, Sukhoi 35. Sure, sounds right. 35 million each. Right. So for those of you keeping track at home, you could literally throw what, 350 Stingers at a Sukhoi 35, and you would still come out on top if just one of them is able to hit, right? So you understand, of course, when we watch these videos, right, you're thinking there's almost no upper limit to how worth it is to spam these rockets. And yes, these Sukhois have flares, they can evade, right? They have anti-air defense systems, but as you can see, throwing enough missiles at these targets are gonna get you the results that you want. And there is, of course, some drone shots doing a battle damage assessment of the destroyed Sukhois, right? Again, YouTube sensors, no evidence that anyone's been hurt. Pilots probably managed to bail out. But I hope you guys understand, most important of all, the incredible math behind why high-tech systems can sometimes be countered by comparatively cheap, low-tech systems, and how this asymmetry, right? Again, one soldier with a few hours of training on how to use a man-pad system, right? Total cost, let's be generous and say $200,000, can thwart a $35 million Sukhoi 35 plus a pilot who takes years, a year plus to train up to fly it. This is why these asymmetries are one of the biggest reasons we're seeing Ukraine able to go toe-to-toe with what was at the time one of the most feared militaries in the world. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Of course, as we talked about, if you want to see the breakdowns of the, we're going to call them spiciest combat videos, and you want to support what I'm doing here, trying to add the context to what you're seeing in the media, become a member of the Patreon. Thanks, as always, to my Lieutenant tier patrons. I'll catch you guys in the next one.